Once again, it is on Big
Yeah.
Game Week, and we are ready for it. Welcome to the Overtime Sports Show, most interactive sports show online. I'm AV, and my ace G-Man is in the building
Man,
from a
what's
G
up,
and a
what's up,
Pip.
what's up? Man, I'm excited. You know, every year I say the same thing. Like, man, it's gonna be the best Super Bowl, and then the big best game or whatever. But then when you get to the next year, you're like, man, they're doing it big this year, and it's like every year it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So I'm excited, man. I can't wait. I know we got a prediction later on, but I'm excited.
Yeah, we're going to jump into it. Of course, the halftime show is going to be one for the ages. Of course, that's a part of the genre of music that you and I love, hip-hop, with Dr. Dre, Snoop, Mary J., Eminem, and who am I missing?
Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, so it's going to be real good. I'm really looking forward to that. I know they're able to get up and do probably a song each and keep it moving, but I know it's going to be a great halftime show.
It's going to be one of the most watched halftime shows next to Prince.
Definitely.
MJ. Yeah. Well, back when MJ and Prince did it, more so MJ, social media wasn't around like it is now. When Prince did it, I think it was just starting to get pretty good.
But
well,
you know, it was a highlight. It was a highlight of something that now this is when people would really gather around a television to watch.
That's all you had.
Yeah, because that's all you had.
If you missed it, you missed it. So you had to be in front of your TV to watch it.
Yep, wait on the news to come on. So we want you guys to chime in today. We got a lot to talk about, of course. A new head coach here for our Houston Texans. Brady said, never say never when it comes to playing again. So we'll get into that. And hopefully we'll have enough time to talk about the NFL coaches. You know, they got the top coaches and top NBA coaches, rather, of all time. So I want to get into that conversation. But like we said, like, share, comment. This Sunday, it all goes down to big game. So, you know, versus is a big thing. So, G-Man, you and I got to do a kind of versus episode as we get ready for Los Angeles versus Cincinnati. And first up in our versus episode, the battle of the QBs, Joe Burrow versus Matthew Stafford. Now, you know, I've been riding with the Bengals, so I'm not going to switch up now. Yeah, I'm not going to switch up now. But if I had to take this quarterback battle in the versus, I'm gonna go with Joe. I'm gonna ride with Joe.
I'm gonna stick with Matthew Stafford, man. I've been rolling with the Rams the last few weeks. I just think that, you know, they're playing basically a home game in LA, although it's gonna be, you know, neutral site, basically a home game. But I think Matthew Stafford, you know, he's been coming through in the clutch the last couple of games. He's really been playing. He was good in Detroit, but I think he's got that great offense. Got a great defense. I think he just can manage the game. I think he'll be all right. Joe Burrow, to me, although he has some great receivers, and he has to actually take the game in his own hands and actually try to win the game. Matthew Stafford's more of a game manager, I think. So I'm going to go with Matthew Stafford on this one, man.
Yeah, and Joe Burrow's been doing that. You remember last year, of course, it wasn't for him tearing his ACL. He was already having a great year as a rookie. So, you know, with the weapons that he has on offense, and I like how you said, I even think, you know, Joe can manage a game as well. His thing is to just, you know, be able to keep the game close, keep it tight, and then like these past few playoff games, we've been seeing him excel down the line when the game is on the line. So I think for Joe, my thing is it's the first time for both of these quarterbacks being on this big stage, of course, him being the younger. I think if he can get past that first quarter, that first quarter and a half, and just kind of keep himself settled, I think they'll be in it, man, and do some big things.
Let's not forget, though, Joe Burrow was on a big stage when he won that national championship. So he knows about big games, man, and he does not seem to get rattled. When you saw them play the Chiefs when Patrick Mahomes had the ball in the last 5.5 minutes, I remember Tony Romo said, Joe Burrow may not get the ball back. And he didn't. It went straight to overtime, but he was on the sideline. That's why they call him Joe Cool and Joe Shiesty. He was just waiting. He's like, give me my turn. And the man that delivers. I think Cincinnati got a hell of a quarterback for years to come.
Yeah. And I want to tell you something. I know he did it. In college, but this is not Alabama, and this show is not Clemson when he's playing against these defensive lines. And so the battle of the defensive line, I mean, what do you say? Aaron Donald has been doing this thing, I think, with Von Miller. To me, the Rams have the edge when it comes to a defensive line. I don't care what you say. I like Cincinnati's line because they got Rita, but the Rams have too many stout boys up front. When Aaron Donald, who can basically push the entire defensive line back, I got to give the edge to the Rams D-line.
Oh man, you think about it. Von Miller was also a Super Bowl winning defensive player for the Broncos. You know, he won the big game there. He's still a top-notch defensive player. He may not be the same Von Miller as he was 2 or 3 years out of college, but he's still a beast. He proved that the last couple of weeks he's been doing it. And then you got, like you said, that meet up front, man. You got Aaron Donald. Just Aaron Donald alone, is enough. You know, you can't double and triple team Aaron Donald because you don't have Von Miller on one end. Then you got the other dude, number 97. I mean, you got.
It's tough.
It's tough.
It's tough.
And then you got in the back end, you got Jalen Ramsey on the back end. You got Weddle. I mean, if Joe Burrow makes any mistakes, man, it's definitely going to be he's going to pay for it for sure.
I'm glad you spoke of the secondary. Let's take a look at a secondary receiver battle that's going to be crucial to this game. Eli Apple and, of course, Cooper Kupp, who's showed out in the NFC Championship game. And you got to give it to him.
Give me Cooper Kupp all day long.
Well, I tell you what, for us,
all day long.
Yeah, for us with Eli Apple, I think this is the safety net. You got to keep a safety over the top of Cooper Kupp. You got to have somebody to help Eli out because I don't want him to be on an island by himself trying to hold Cooper because it's not going to work. So what I would do is I'm going to put a safety over the top of him, and anybody else on Los Angeles team is going to have to beat me except Cooper.
When are they going to realize that Cooper Kupp is the real deal? I know the last few years thinking, okay, maybe it was a fluke. You got to realize this man, he won the Triple Crown, man. I'm trying to tell you, this man had the year that he had, and not just this year. Last year, he was balling. The year before that, he was good. And then I remember watching him on Hard Knocks when he was a rookie. I thought, okay, this guy's going to be all right. I thought maybe he may be another Danny Amendola or something like that. But no, this guy here is turning into one of the top 3 receivers in the league.
Yeah, he's a gamer, so we got to give it to Cooper on that. Now, next, since you spoke of a young receiver, Jamar Chase versus Jalen Ramsey. Now, I think Ramsey's a little long in the tooth now. I got to go with Chase. So yeah, because Chase, you know, he reminds me of a young Cooper. I mean, you could put him in the backfield if you wanted to as well. But you talk about a young man that can go from the slot. He can take you over the top. I mean, he's got hands. As we've seen all this year, he's been able to produce. So in this case, I got to stick with the Bengals, and I got to go with Chase.
I do too. And you know what? I think you're right on Jalen Ramsey. I don't want to say he's overrated, but I don't think he's that shutdown corner that we used to see with Asamoah. You used to see with these other defensive backs where you just knew, the Darrelle Reeves of the world. I think he's got more hype because he got that big contract and because he did pretty good in Jacksonville, or really good, but I don't think he's the same player.
No,
I definitely don't think he's the same player.
Yeah, time and chance happens to us all.
Good, but overhyped.
Yeah. You slow down after a while.
Give me Chase.
Yeah, I don't care who you are. You're going to slow down after a while. And then finally, in our versus episode, the head coach is McVay versus Taylor. And I'm going to let you pick this one, man.
I got to go with the guy who's been there before, Sean McVay. Although he lost one, but he's been there. Every year, he's got his team in contention. Yeah, they do, pay and got top talent, but you still got to coach him up. Yeah. And you still got to call the plays. And I got to take McVay. Although Zach Taylor has been turning a lot of heads since this playoff started, but I got to go with the old school. Yeah. And I say old school, I mean the guy who's been doing it longer.
Yeah, Sean McVay. I mean, he's a tactician, man. The brother he's basically drawing the plays on the sideline. He's kind of like how we grew up when you just playing with your rocks and you go to the sideline and draw a play. Yeah, for everybody to go run. So, man, for him, McVay is the man. I mean, I think hopefully he won't go brain dead in the third and fourth quarter with Los Angeles and just try to do too much and walk away with a lose. I appreciate that, Kenneth. Yeah, Zach Taylor learned from McVay, which is absolutely true. So hopefully, they'll be able to get a win. But I got to go with Sean McVay on this one. Ty, we appreciate you checking in. Hey, G-Man, there's a new beard in town now. A couple of weeks ago, we just knew Josh McCown was on his way to being the head coach of the Houston Texans. We were hopeful that Brian Flores would get the job. And then all of a sudden, in the 12th hour, we started hearing the rumors that our good friend, defense coordinator Lovie Smith, was a candidate for the Houston Texans. Your first reaction, because I was shocked, but I just felt in my spirit that the Texans were going to pull a late move, and I didn't have no idea that it would be Lovie.
I didn't think it was going to be Lovie. I honestly thought they were going to shock the world and take Flores. But then I heard, I don't know if you saw this, Flores' attorney said that the Texans were going to hire Flores before the lawsuit came out. When the lawsuit came out, they said, nah, but I don't get it. Like, it's not like Flores is facing criminal charges or facing sexual whatever. He's just suing the league because he has a valid point. How are you going to fire me after doing what I did?
Yeah.
And I think that's what they did. I mean,
don't go over what you said. The key word is you said he's suing the what?
The league.
On the league.
The NFL. And I don't
These
think
owners stick together.
They don't want that smoke.
Yeah. I think that they wanted to go, like you said, we've been hearing the rumors about them wanting to have Brian Flores as coach, but I think, from Easterby's standpoint, he wanted to get his boy Josh McCown in just a little bit early. And I think that they realized that if they made that move, how detrimental it would be. Watch also, New Orleans waited until we selected our coach before they made their announcement about their head coach. Because remember, they were supposed to bring Eric Bieniemy in to interview him. But when we made our decision, all of a sudden that interview disappeared. So then we got Lovey on board. Now, here's the thing about Lovey. I'm not mad at it. I understand this decision they had to make. We can have conspiracy theories about the whole situation and come up with a lot of different things. But when I look at Lovey's overall resume, I know he didn't do too good in Tampa. I know he didn't do too good in Illinois when he went coaching college. But if we go back to Chicago, you got to remember in his first season, he went 5-11. In his second season, he went 11-5, became the coach of the year. And then that next season, 13-3, on his way to winning the Super Bowl.
Well, he didn't win the Super Bowl, did he?
Well, pedigree. Remember, he's got one. And remember, he lost
the other. So he was the coach of the Bears when they lost to the Colts.
Yeah, remember they won. Remember he won one and they lost one. So he's been a winner. He's been a winner of a Super Bowl, but he also lost in the Super Bowl. So he has Super Bowl pedigree. And what I'm saying by that is, I think for Lovey, my thing with Lovey is I trust Lovey's wisdom when it comes to rebuilding the team. Now, with these new rookie coaches, I was a little on the edge. Of course, with Josh McCown, I was out altogether. Brian Flores, I was like, well, his connection might bring Watson back. I don't know why I was holding on to that. But for me with Lovey, I think Lovey can take us from where we are and actually lead us to a Super Bowl if they stick the course with it.
Hang on. You kind of got me a little crazy here. What Super Bowl did Lovie Smith win?
Because I remember they said he was in 2 Super Bowls. So, and I couldn't stand corrected.
He didn't win one as a head coach. I know somebody on there was commenting. I know he lost one as a head coach of the Bears. I don't think he's never won. He
lost one to Peyton Manning. I do know that.
No, he lost to Tony Dungy and Peyton Manning. Yeah,
right. He lost to Peyton Manning.
He's never won one though.
But he was he was assistant coach with the Rams when they won. Right. So that's what it was. Yeah. So I know he had that. He's been a part of a Super Bowl winner. So my thing with that is he's been to the big game.
Yeah.
He's been to the big game. Yeah. So for me, I believe he can take our Texans if, and it's a lot of ifs, and y'all can chime in on this, if this front office allows Lovey to coach and put the players together that he wants. And G-Man, that is a big if.
Big if. And I don't know if them boys on Kirby are going to let him just have free reigns and be like, do what you want to do, get us to the big game. I still think there's more going on behind the scenes than we know. I don't know. Can Lovie Smith, can he be a hire to please the minorities? Could that have been a hire? Because if that's the case, I would have Flores.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I think if they would have went with, Billy Bob, whoever, they would have been like, wait a minute, man, come on. We just went through this whole minority thing about hiring coaches, and now you're going to go and do that or go get Josh McCown. I think they felt they had to get Lovie Smith or somebody of that. Brian Flores with the lawsuit, that was definitely not going to happen. But
No, it definitely would. But here's one thing I do like, and you talk about expectations. If we get 5 or 6 wins, I'm cool with that next year because I realize we finally got all our draft picks. We can sign a couple of free agents, hopefully some young boys, somewhere between 23 and 27. I don't want to go get the older vets and, you signing them to long contracts because we're still in a little bit of cap hell until we trade Deshaun Watson or whatever happens with that situation. But I want him to be able to kind of rebuild a little bit through the draft, rebuild through free agency, and let's get this team back on track. So if I can get 5 or 6 wins next year, I'm not tripping.
So Kenneth says, what about Rodgers and Devontae Adams? I don't think we have enough money for them boys. I mean, I don't think, well, back to that point real quick. If Devontae Adams don't sign with the Green Bay Packers, I do not see Aaron Rodgers wanting to go back to Green Bay.
Well, where can he go, though? Because, I mean, there were rumors out about him going to Tennessee. And then, of course, Coach Vrabel said, no, that's not going to happen. For some reason, they want to stick with their quarterback, which is not a bad thing.
That if they came to Coach Vrabel and said, hey, we're going to send you Aaron Rodgers, he's going to say, nah, I got Tannehill. Heck to the no. I'm like, Ryan, get your fine.
They already said it.
Go to Hawaii, do some things out there, go have some babies, but I'm taking Aaron Rodgers. That's what I'm doing. I'm taking Aaron Rodgers. I don't care if Aaron Rodgers has 3 more years left.
Yeah, unless he said in our smoke signals, they already said it. They already came out with it because, the rumor was out that Rodgers was thinking about going to Tennessee. If it didn't work out in Green Bay for him, he was thinking about going to Tennessee, and then Vrabel came out and they shot that down. Hey, Rodgers, now this is a good one, Kenneth. That's a good one.
That's like somebody telling me, hey, G-Man, you want to stay with your wife, but J-Lo wants to marry you. Baby, I love you, but you got to go. I'm going with J-Lo.
Let's see what kind of free agents we got out here. This boy know he like to go. He like to go to the left every week.
Go and hang out on the beach. Let me go hang out with J-Lo in New York for a little bit.
Let me apologize to G-Man's wife right now. He know not what he's thinking. I think he's drinking in the studio. Allegedly. Let me say allegedly.
Gatorade.
Yeah, before we get in trouble. But yeah, now Devontae Adams, if he's willing to rebuild with the Texans, that would be good. I know Orlando Brown is out there. Chris Goodwin, of course. Godwin, rather, from the Buccaneers is out there. And, of course, J.C. Jackson, big cornerback with the New England Patriots, since it's always the Patriots' way. If he want to come over here, that'll be good. But I think we just need to continue to rebuild and just let this thing kind of play out.
Is Orlando Brown Jr. the son of the Orlando Brown original tackle?
I'm thinking so.
Orlando Brown, the senior, that was a bad boy.
That was a bad boy. Yeah, he was a tough fella. So we'll see. But hey, Coach Lovey, please. Yeah, I know Kyler Murray definitely wants out of Arizona, but he'd be stupid to leave.
I'll take Kyler Murray.
He's not coming.
Deshaun Watson out there. But you know what? I had a weird last night. I was thinking about the Texans. I'm like, seeing Davis Mills, what he did the last 5 or 6 games, kind of made me think, man, this guy may be the quarterback of the future for our team. I mean, he looked like he was managing the game towards the end, the last few games. Like he knew his decision making was good. Can this guy turn out to be something special?
Well, here's one of the reasons why I can say yes, because Pep Hamilton is the offensive coordinator, and Pep is still here to work with him. Now he's the offensive coordinator, so I think Pep, who's been able to from Luck, what's our boy, and with the Chargers, Herbert, he's been able to develop these quarterbacks, and so now we see, the progression with him working with Mills, and now we're seeing this next year how he progresses and goes to another level because he's still has the same basic quarterback coach and now offensive coordinator in his corner. So I at least want to give him a chance. Yeah,
no, Kenneth, I get what you're saying, Ken, but you got to think, David Mills almost basically did what David Carr did. You put him behind. We definitely got David Carr shell shocked. Right. Davis Mills took some hits, but he stayed in the pocket. He still threw the ball pretty good, although our offensive line is better than what David Carr had. And I'm not saying I'm a fan of Davis Mills, but if he plays the way he did the last 3-4 weeks of the season, where he was confident, he knew where he was going with the ball, he knows the offense, maybe give him another year. I don't know. Give him another year and see what he does. He will be a good backup if he doesn't make it as a starter. He will be a good backup. But I say they're going to give him one more year for sure.
Yeah, man, I got a shout out to Sean Goodman, our friend Sean Goodman he's a New Orleans Saints fan, and I called him today to ask him what was going on with Alvin Kamara. What happened with his running back in Vegas? Gets into an altercation with a young man, and his entourage, if you want to call it, jumped on the young man. They beat him up so bad and almost knocked his eye out of his socket.
It's liquor. That's what it is. You get
Woo.
club, you start get that liquid courage in you, and then obviously you're an NFL player, so you can't touch me. You can't. What you gonna do? I'm gonna. So I think a lot of had to do with that. I mean, I don't think a normal person like you or me would go in the club, buy a bottle, and start beating somebody up because it's not. It has to do with.
Yeah.
It has. I mean, you hear about it all the time. Whether it's NBA All-Star Game, whether it's a Pro Bowl, whether it's the big Super Bowl with Ray Lewis. I mean, something always happens with these players. They just can't go to the club, look at some booty, drink some beer, and then go home. I just can't do that.
Yeah, my thing is part of this when you think about it. And then he tried to lie about the situation. Of course, the video supports the allegations.
One time.
Yeah, and it's like, bro, it's video camera. You got to live and know that it's video cameras everywhere.
The cops said they witnessed and saw on video him punch him at least 8 times.
Yeah.
He said, I only hit him once. Come on, man.
Yeah.
In the world of video cameras, come on, bro.
Yeah. I mean, they were stumping his entourage, his posse. They stumping on him. Man, they beat that dude up something terrible. But my thing is, all right, so you're a free agent, but man, you're hurting your future by this horrible decision. Here's what always gets me. I know you said about the liquor courage, I get it. But you got to have somebody in your entourage, somebody in your group that says you cannot do this, especially if you're the money man for all of us.
And not only that, but I'm willing to say, you know what? I'm going to pay a security guard $1,000 for one night or for the weekend just to watch me. You ain't drinking. You watch what's going on. Somebody comes up to me. You see that I'm already buzzing. Hey,
how does he get that close?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I think there's more to the story, but honestly, when you start drinking and you're a ball player and you think the world revolves around you and you got all the money and you can pay for this and that, nah, man.
So free agent.
He's looking at some years. They said, what, 5+ years?
Yeah, man, which is not good, bro. You're messing up your NFL career, for just a little aggression. I know we get aggressive as men. I get it. But was it really worth it when you look back on it after spending 5 years in prison that you messed off your NFL career? Not worth it at all.
Yeah, Alvin Kamara would be a not so free agent.
Not so free agent, man. I tell you what, the GOAT has been sending out signals now. He did an interview with Jim Gray, and he asked him about his decision about retiring and whether it was something that he wowould maintain. And of course, Brady referred to like Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, and Mike Tyson all coming back and playing in the NFL and the NBA again. And he said, never say never. Do you think Tom Brady is going to come back? And should he come back? And I say absolutely. You're too old, Tom.
Nope.
Ride it out.
It ain't going to happen. It's not like he retired at 38. You come back for a year or two. 44. There ain't no way he's going to take this year off. Come back at maybe almost 46.
Yeah.
And that's only taking 1 year off. You're coming back at almost 46 years old. Man, you better go to the damn retirement home and hang out over there with them people and play football with them. You know what I mean? There's ain't no way. There ain't no way. I can't see it. As young as he's been and as young as he looks, nah, man.
Nah. I think about it my age.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I think about it my age. I'm like, nah, man, I would not, as you said. I'm not into taking off a couple of years because you're going to get out of football shape. Then you got to go back and try to get yourself back in shape. Because it's all with Gronk. It takes you a little while to get back into game shape. I'm not talking about just in physical shape. I'm talking about game shape. And I know he's one to duck and dodge when the blitz is coming in. But it only takes the right person to hit you one good time to really do some damages to your body. You're 44. You're able to get out of the league. You're still healthy. Your body's intact. My thing is, Tom, don't flirt with it, Tom. Stay home. Stay home.
It's like saying Drew Brees took last year off to be a reporter. He's going to come back next year. I wouldn't take no chance on Drew Brees right now being out of the league for a year. And even though he's younger than Tom Brady, I wouldn't take a chance on that.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it at all. I'm like,
I would sit there on the beach with my beautiful wife and just do some things, man. But other than that,
enjoy life.
Enjoy life.
Now I want to hit a little bit of NBA. I saw this. The NBA revealed its top 15 coaches in league history. Part of the league's 75th anniversary, and the top 15 coaches were announced. And just a couple of the coaches that stood out: Red Auerbach, of course, Phil Jackson, I mean, I mean, you got to give it to him. I know he had Michael Jordan, but still, you know, you got to. He coached the X and the O's, and he had Kobe as well. Yeah, so you got to get a man his props. Greg Popovich, Pops, great coach. Duncan,
great coach.
Robinson.
Although I think when he was the GM of the team, I don't know if you remember this, he was the GM of the team before when they had David Robinson. When he knew they got Tim Duncan, he's like, okay, I want to coach.
Yes,
well,
sir.
dang, I could have coached that team to an NBA title. I don't agree with Don Nelson.
Okay, you don't agree with Don?
With Don Nelson, no. I'm cool with Lenny Wilkins. I don't agree with Doc Rivers just yet. I think it's too soon.
Pat Riley's on there.
Pat Riley, yes. Casey Jones for sure. Just
Steve
looking at that, Steve Kerr, not yet. I think he inherited Mark Jackson's team. I think Mark Jackson would have won a title.
Yeah, he definitely did. He definitely did.
He old school. Well, if you think about old school basketball, obviously it was way different than it is now. So you gotta have something there. What about Chuck Daly, man? That's one for me.
Chuck did good with the Pistons, the bad boys. Yeah. I mean, you got to give it to them. They were before Michael Jackson could get it. Before Michael Jordan could get his footing. You know, the bad boys were beating him up, man, every year. It was tough for him. Spoelstra, I mean, come on, you got to give it to him with Miami. I know he had LeBron. I know he had Wade on his team. You know, you got like I said, it was still Pat Riley's team. But hey, my thing is he maintained him enough to get him back to the championship. So get him in his props.
You know, only because I'm a homer, I wouldn't mind seeing Rudy Tomjanovich in there. But I know they're not gonna get. But think about it. He won 2 back-to-backs with a team that wasn't even supposed to be there.
Yeah. And you got to give Don. You got to give Chaney some credit on that team as well because he was able to kind of set the foundation for the squad. I think our Rockets, we should have got he just passed recently, Bill Fitch. We should have won a title when Bill Fitch was our coach because we had a good team. But, you know,
86,
88, you know, some of them spirits got in the way that you was talking about and some of the other stuff got in the way and that kind of destroyed that little team that we had, but it was a good team that was put together. So I'm looking forward to seeing it when the entire list comes out, and it's going to be good. Got to give a shout out too before we get out of here today. Want to give a shout out to the Houston Cougars. They're playing SMU tonight. They've been on the roll, first place in the American Conference. They're doing good. Got 2 big games. They're in the middle of a 3-game swing right now. They beat Cincinnati over the weekend, play SMU tonight, and then they play Memphis on Saturday. And also TSU, they are game out of first place, but they got a big game against Grambling. They're going to play them this weekend and then Southern on Monday. So congratulations to U of H and Texas Southern doing big things. All right, G-Man, we got to get down to the nitty gritty now. It's happening. Big game Sunday this week. We know what the halftime show is all about, but Super Bowl 56, Los Angeles, Cincinnati, LA is at home. G-Man, I'm going to put it in your corner, and I'm going to let you pick who you think is going to win the big game.
This is going to be another Tampa, Kansas City type game. I think LA wins pretty easy on this one. I think LA wins. I'm going to give you a score because it's on turf. You know, it's on turf. You got OBJ, you got Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford get the ball there. I'm going to go on a limb and say 31-17 Rams.
Whew. Listen, when you got Broadway Joe and we got Chase, I ain't gonna change on Cincinnati. I'm gonna ride with who brought us. I'm gonna ride with the boys. I ain't gonna sell them out right now. They on the roll. I think they gonna shock the world. We're gonna shock the world.
People that are viewing right now, give us y'all predictions too. What do y'all think the score is gonna be? I'm going 31-17 Rams.
I need a bigger Super Bowl. I got to go 35-31. I need a bigger Super Bowl. I need some highlights. We got to get it going.
I just need the number 2 and the number 7 to hit because that's my numbers on the pot. I need 2 and 7.
Appreciate that.
I know 2 and 7 are my numbers on the pot, forwards and backwards. I don't care, but it's going to be 31-17 or around that area right there.
Yeah, I need a little bit more. I need a little bit more scoring. That's too light for me. That'll put me to sleep. I'll be asleep. So we got to get the poll up.
reason why I think Joe Burrow might score more than 17 is because they're on AstroTurf and there's no weather issues. That's the only reason why they may score more than 17. But remember back in the day when the Giants told Patriots and Tom Brady said they're thinking we're only going to score 17 points. Ha! What happened? Sure enough, they lost to the Giants and they only scored 17 points.
Listen, homie, all I'm gonna say is, "Who they go Bengals?" Then I get back to 10 for the
ass whoop. I'm trying to tell you.
Tell them I didn't keep up. Tell them I didn't keep up with you, G-Man.
Hey, make sure you follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitter, Gman979, and my new YouTube channel. So I just got monetized last couple days ago. So I ain't no money just yet, but I'm eligible. So it's a G's World on YouTube. It's a G's World, G''S. And I know you got a YouTube channel too with Faith and Fame.
Yes, sir, man. Follow me, Faith and Fame with AV, because it's all about the money. As G-Man said, we're making money moves in this season. Faith and Fame with AV on TikTok as well, Instagram, and of course my YouTube page. And it's follow your boys. That's all I'm saying. We'll see you guys next week after Cincinnati wins the big game, 35-31 for G-Man. I'm AV. See ya. 35-31.
LA Rams. Blow it.